Wow, guys, we just got the plot for Incredibles 3 from D23. If you didn't know, D23 is basically a Disney fan event that gives information for upcoming Disney movies. So yeah, we got the plot for Incredibles 3, which is so exciting, but not only that, we got our first looks and renders for the movie, which actually gives us a glimpse of the new villain that's going to be in the film. And yeah, let's get straight into this because this is so exciting. So first let's get into the plot for Incredibles 3. Set weeks after the previous film, Violet and Dash seek independence from their parents, while Jack-Jack's powers spiral out of control. The family must unite to face a supervillain with abilities surpassing them all. This plot came to us from IMDb, and after waiting a long time for this plot to be revealed, all I gotta say is, wow. Incredibles 3 seems to be really high stakes, especially considering they're saying there's this supervillain with powers surpassing them all. I'm like, wow, this seems to be really high stakes and more high stakes than the second movie. Next up, we have the first looks for Incredibles 3, and this is something I have been waiting for a long time. The first look shows us Mr. Incredible holding this massive rock in front of all these people with a bunch of cameras in a big city where we see cars and tall buildings. And the reason why Mr. Incredible is holding this massive rock is to prove to the public that he can still be super, especially considering they're saying that he's facing an identity crisis. I don't know, but this is a cool concept art overall. The next couple of looks that we got for Incredibles 3 are just renders from the second movie, but they're still good looking overall. Now let's take a look at this next one over here. So the next concept art over here, we see Mr. Incredible, and he looks very disappointed. Of course, we can see his old super suit to the left, and this is definitely him struggling with his identity crisis. Kind of funny to think that the entire Incredibles franchise, Mr. Incredible is trying to prove himself. And apparently they're doing this again in the third movie. We of course see some bandages all over his back, and I feel like this massive rock was the thing that injured him, and now he's wearing this bunch of bandages, and how he's disappointed that he couldn't help the public. This is what I think this concept art is showing over here. This next look of Incredibles 3 over here I find the most interesting because I think this is the villain of the movie. He looks a lot like a glowing up robot. We see these funny evil eyes and this very robotic look. Considering IMDb said that this villain is surpassing all the powers of the Parr family, this is looking to be a really high stakes villain. I cannot wait to see what Pixar does with this character. So those were all the 5 pieces of looks that we got for Incredibles 3, and back to the plot of the movie. Just as I had predicted and wished, the movie is focusing on Dash, Violet, and Jack-Jack. While we got to see a lot of their personality in the first 2 movies, I actually want the situation to be about them and to have a lot more screen time on them. Also Jack-Jack, there's a lot that you could explore with that powerful character. So yeah, I cannot wait to see what Pixar does with Dash, Violet, and Jack-Jack. It also says that Dash, Violet, and Jack-Jack are expected to take on larger roles as they secretly leave home at night to use their powers to protect the city. It says their attempts to keep their activities hidden from Bob and Helen introduce a new family dynamic, while preserving the central superhero premise of the franchise. So the Parr sibling trio is actually gonna sneak at night to protect the city without their parents knowing, which is not a bad concept at all. However, proving yourself has been an overused concept in the Incredibles franchise. In both movies, Mr. Incredible is trying to prove himself that he is still a good super. And now, again, we're gonna have this concept of Dash, Violet, and Jack-Jack, the sibling trio, trying to prove themselves that they're good supers. And honestly, well, I don't like this. I feel like we need something more creative, because proving yourself has been a very overused thing in The Incredibles. Also, sneaking out at night feels very familiar to me. Remember the first Incredibles where Bob and Lucius hung out in their car to listen to police scanners? Well, they're kind of rehashing this concept. The only real difference is that they're using different characters. But still, the fact that we're gonna see the sibling trio on their own adventure in the film makes me very excited. So yeah, these were all the new first looks, details, and stuff that we got for Incredibles 3. I love the first two Incredibles movies, and the first one is one of my top 3 favorite movies of all time. So yeah, I definitely cannot wait to learn more about this sequel.